Alright, here's the other Siege match. I promise now on both of these matches I won't be showing you the results screen because I actually played these battles a while ago and accidentally deleted the recordings that I had of the results screen. I should probably just start taking screenshots because it'd take up less memory. But in any case, yeah, sorry I don't have the results screen, but I mean, obviously I won the battle, so it's probably not going to really matter how much killing each unit did, or, you know, whatever. In this battle I bring a slightly different type of army. My strategy is pretty sound overall, but I do make some retarded mistakes. Let me show you what I have here. I've got 5 units of bow Ashigaru, and my whole idea here was just to bring so many bow units to try and make my opponent waste all of his missiles. Now, one thing I didn't count on, again, I told you before that the morale of bow Ashigaru units is actually really crappy, and fortunately, though, I think they end up getting my purpose done here, but you gotta be careful if you bring out unupgraded bow Ashigaru because it's possible they could rout very quickly under the fire of superior bow units. So there is my archers, and you can also see some of my katana samurai at the bottom. Now, when you're attacking, you get more money because, of course, your opponent the money is being factored upon, of course, that you have the fortress from which to defend yourself. Now, I brought these fire rockets. When you're assaulting a single-tiered fortress, this is not necessary. The idea behind me bringing them was that hopefully I could snipe his general with them. Pretty cheap, but if you can kill a general of an enemy when you're assaulting in a siege, it will be a huge morale bonus for your men, and morale is everything in the siege battles. Sometimes it's the difference between win or lose. So yeah, there's my fire rocket guys. You're actually not going to see any action from them because I absolutely blow it on this match with them, but I mean, you will get to see, I mean, you got to see the fire rockets in the last one, so hopefully that's a new unit that you may not have seen yet in my videos. So there they go, running forward. There's my men duking it out in the archer fight. I think we can actually zoom, yeah, we can zoom in even closer if we want. Yeah, so there's the bow fight going on out there. See some of my men getting shot. I love this cinematic view. I'm enjoying it so much because you don't have to be like right on top of it. Now, check out what I do with these fire rockets. I don't know what the heck I was thinking, but I run these guys up, or I clicked an attack order. Oops, sorry. I clicked an attack order, and rather than firing, and I was paying attention somewhere else, thinking about something, rather than firing, they run like right up next to the wall, and just completely ticks me off because they had plenty of range to get the job done from further away. But it's like I don't know, for some reason they ran right up next to the wall. I'm kind of thinking it's maybe because they didn't have the angle to arc the rockets up and over. But in any case, yeah, check it out. They just routed. So there goes 950 koku that I spent. And then check it out. These guys are so dumb that not only did they run up there, they actually route towards the castle into more bow fire. So, yeah, I blew it. And then these guys blew it. And there they are paying the price for me having done that. But, I mean, all was not lost. Yeah, I wasted a lot of koku on that siege unit. Definitely a victory for my opponent. Now, here I am. I'm focusing a lot of my archer fire on single units at a time. Not necessarily all of it. But my opponent had, let's see, 3 bow Ashigaru, I think. Yeah, 3 bow Ashigaru, 1 bow samurai. His bow samurai is the one, or no, 4 bow Ashigaru, 1 bow samurai. Yeah, my opponent brought a ton of archers. Pretty smart move. The only problem is that costs so much koku that he's left with very little melee infantry. So the problem is, if you're going to bank on all those missile units, you better make dang sure that all of my missile units are dead, and you're pretty much wreaking havoc on my melee infantry, or else you're not going to have enough melee infantry. So remember, this is why I said that you should bring cheap quality sword units when defending. Because check it out, my opponent just totally wastes his money on these lone sword Ashigaru. Complete waste of money. These, Yari Ashigaru, because spear units suck in melee unless they're against cavalry, and you're not going to be fighting cavalry off in this type of fight. So my opponent only has 1 unit of sword infantry, and his bow samurai are kind of like so in a melee, but not good. They might be able to hold out for a couple of seconds against a lone sword unit that's already depleted, but that's about it. So yeah, there he's got this good unit of Nodashi samurai though, and they do have 1 chevron. But my opponent came extremely light on melee infantry, and I really think that was a problem for him. He probably could have gotten away with bringing like I don't know, 3 bow Ashigaru and pretty much ruined my archer force for the most part. You can see my archer force is now pretty much dead. I do have some of them left, but I mean they're very much depleted. So you can see them there, and I'm using them as a shield. My opponent should be firing every arrow he has at my infantry at this point, but he's not. He's still focused on my my archers. That was definitely a mistake on my opponent's part, since I outnumber him so badly in the infantry department. And I actually have a surprise element, in case you haven't checked the minimap yet. Check this out. I brought some pretty good katana infantry, but then I also brought 6 units of Lone Sword Ashigaru. So rather than focus on extremely experienced veteran units, I brought just a huge force of sword units that would make my opponent focus either his archer fire or his melee infantry somewhere else. So the idea was to split my opponent and make him weak somewhere by having brought so much of this fodder infantry. So the real meat of my infantry is over here, and my opponent is intelligently now shooting my katana units. Right here is my better start running unit. And they are absolutely getting shredded by those bow units up there. And let's see, my men are burning down the gates right here. Let me show you that. I ran some of my archers that had run out of ammo over the wall. That's just a distraction. I'm not going to really accomplish anything there. You definitely want to burn the gates down, though, in my opinion, rather than climb the walls. Because I think a lot of your men die on the walls when climbing, and that can be very detrimental. So here go my katana samurai. And there's enough of these guys that my opponent's going to have an extremely hard time defending. Another thing my opponent should have done when he saw me burning down the gates was to garrison his archers right here. You can garrison them right above the gate, and then he should have had his sword infantry waiting right here. And what that would have effectively done is he could have pinned, excuse me, he could have pinned this entryway, and my men wouldn't have been able to get up, so they would have been getting nailed by arrows from right here. It would have been like a murder hole, and then they couldn't have gotten through in the front. So that would have been a deadly effective tactic. And then he could have just focused everything else and tried to stop these Lone Sword Ashigaru climbing the walls. Now, he wouldn't have had enough men to stop these guys, but it still would have been more effective. And had he brought just a little bit more melee infantry, he could have easily done a lot better in this match. But, you know, my opponent, he isn't dead yet. Siege battles are tough, so, you know, you can't go counting on victory until the fat lady sings, so to speak. Here's his bow samurai, and like I said, when these guys are in good position, they actually can defend quite well. You can see that my my Ashigaru unit is actually getting pretty thrashed by these bow samurai, and it's because they have somewhat of a melee defense there. You can see them with their katanas out. Plus he's got that tower firing down towards my men as well. My opponent also took his avatar and charged my Lone Sword Ashigaru right when they came up over the wall. That was pretty smart, because it's going to be a pretty devastating charge. And Lone Sword Ashigaru do not fare too well versus cavalry. But the problem is, for my opponent, is I just have so many Lone Sword Ashigaru at this point that he really can't fight them all off. So his general routed one unit. He's causing a lot of damage to another already. But look, I've got more coming over the wall here. These guys won the fight there. So now my opponent's avatar is surrounded, and that's the kind of fight that eventually he will lose. So Avatar is a very tough unit, but it can't necessarily fight while surrounded and everything else. And eventually the numbers game is going to play out. You know, I have hundreds of men as he only has 18. So yeah, so that's eventually going to work in my favor. So there you are. You can see I'm now surrounding my opponent up front. You can see here that if he would have done what I said and held my infantry with his, what do you call him, the Nodashi Samurai, if he would have held them down in this hole and then had archers there, I mean, my guys would have gotten mass murdered in this little hole. And I'd actually like to see a video where someone does that, because these little walls right here are extremely handy if you use them right with your archers, or a unit of Matchlock Ashigaru in there would be even better, because it'd just be point-blank gunning, and it would really demoralize your troops very, very quickly. Let's do some zoom up here on some of the fighting, let you see that. Oh crap, no, I didn't mean to do that. I clicked away from the fight. There we go. I'll let you watch some of the fighting, see if you can catch any funny animations. Maybe zoom in a little bit here. So yeah, I like some of the death animations of these troops. I think it's pretty cool. Very neat indeed. In fact, if you ever get a chance, you should do a slow motion, like when the Nodashi charge like another sword unit or something. It's pretty cool. Some of the charge animations that you get from the Nodashi, they'll come in. Hey look, check it out, there's Patchy right there. I didn't know you get to see some Patchy action. Yeah, he decided to charge into the fortress and let the enemy know that it is now his, and maybe hopefully even get his sword bloody. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of this siege battle. I hope you learned something from these videos. Siege battles are pretty fun it takes a different set of strategies to win. I definitely didn't lay out every strategy you could use here. In fact, I mean, you can see here that I won this battle pretty easily without siege weapons. If you're going to siege a multi-tiered fortress, I would probably bring some siege weapons. Or, I don't know, some kind of helpful unit like some bow warrior monks, something to outrange your enemy in the castle, because he's going to have a lot less money to work with. You just got to think creative, but hopefully these videos got your mind to thinking about some good strategy for siege. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back in the semi-near future. By that I mean tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow. I'll put up a new Shimazu vid for those who want to see it, and then I'll also put up a either a Rome Total War or an Empire Total War video, because I didn't get that done this weekend. But I did want to go ahead and show you some siege battles, since people were kind of begging for siege and naval. I do have a couple of naval battles that I've completed. They were pretty lame though, so I don't really want to show you the footage. I will try and get some better footage and bring you one as soon as I can. But anyway, Eric Carthage signing off for now. Thanks for watching.